I'm Jeff Van Gundy, and you're listening to Thunder Bus.
Welcome to Thunderbus with your hosts, Watson and Bones.
I'm Watson.
And I'm Bones.
We get serious about the Thunder on this podcast.
But we don't get too serious.
Bones, today we are joined by Mo Williams. Mo played 13 seasons in the NBA, 3 as a teammate of LeBron James with the Cavaliers. He is a one-time All-Star and an NBA champion, and as of this week, he is the new head coach of the Alabama State Hornets. Coach, welcome to the bus.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
So, first question, what does it mean to you to be back in Alabama where you played your college ball? Does it feel like a homecoming?
Oh, it is a homecoming. That's where my family is from. Obviously, I played my college ball there, but I actually grew up in Mississippi and Alabama also, so it's familiar territory for me.
So, how big of a help is it to have 4 experienced seniors coming back on this team next year?
Well, we have more than 4, but at the same time, with the kids, we haven't got them on campus yet. Obviously, it's always great to be older team. Just guys, just more mature. I'm just looking for the opportunity to get on campus.
Coach, do you anticipate your history in the NBA and your Southern roots to be an asset in recruiting?
Oh, absolutely. Just my experience, all the accolades I've had, along with me being from that area, obviously will help.
In your rookie year, you played with the Utah Jazz. Sadly, the news just broke over the weekend that Coach Jerry Sloan passed away. Can you talk a little bit about what Coach Sloan meant to you?
I was, deeply, deeply sad. It kind of touched me a little bit because, he do have a special part in my heart. I thought he was, he had a lot of life to live, and knowing him and feisty a person that he is, it's just it's always sad to hear someone that you have a lot of admiration for pass away. So it's just a sad day, especially for the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to think of Jerry Sloan, or it's hard to think of the Utah Jazz and not think of Coach Sloan. He just
absolutely
is a part of that identity. Coach, in your first stint with the Cavaliers, the team won 126 games and earned the top seed in the East twice. Can you talk about some of the things that made those teams special?
Blood and camaraderie. It just us being together. We just had the thing rolling. Obviously we just fell short both of those 2 years, but it wasn't for lack of talent or for lack of wanting to do it. We just kind of ran into a little roadblock there. But just I could just remember those couple of years, man. It was I can't remember a number on it, but I know it was at least 20 plus games where we didn't play the fourth quarter. We were just on the bench with ice on our knees, and that's how we took care of business those couple of years. And I know it was great. I've had some great moments.
Yeah, that's the way to do it when you spend the fourth quarter watching your teammates.
There you go.
So, for me personally, I watched those teams a lot, and that's kind of when I was getting into the NBA. I was attracted to the league as a fan of LeBron, and I started watching the Cavaliers in probably 2008, and I would say that you guys are probably my first favorite team.
That team was special. That team was special. We obviously had the best player in the game. That helps. But at the same time, we had, key pieces like myself and, along with other guys, Barajal, Gauskas, Joe Smith. All kind of Ben Wallace, Wally Zerviak. We just had guys that complemented each other. We had a coach in Mike Brown at the time that was really, 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 really motivated, young and smart. So we had a good thing going.
You mentioned Andy Varejao, and he kind of made a living out of being a physical guy, playing good defense, making well-timed cuts, and just doing all the little things. How rare is it to have teammates like that in the NBA that play selfless basketball and just do all the grunt work?
Well, that's how you win championships. To be honest with you, you got to have those guys on your roster. Those type of guys, to build a team, you got to have, the guy that does all the little things that get, set all the screens and get the rebound, make the right pass. Great locker room guy. Those guys are valuable also.
What can you tell us about LeBron as a teammate?
Oh, he's a great teammate. I mean, it's self-explanatory. I mean, he's easy to play with. I mean, he complimented my game just off the way he played. I mean, it was great. It was great. Obviously, anybody want to play with him, you're going to be successful. You're going to win. So with all those things said, I mean, I have, nothing bad to say about him as a teammate. He's a great teammate.
Coach, how awesome was it to be an All-Star in 2009?
Well, it wasn't even a goal of mine. It actually something I obtained. I've never been a guy that cared about a goal that's not a team goal. But it was a great experience. I would say that. That experience is unmatched. I keep one of those part of the experience that I'll keep for the rest of my life.
Absolutely. So when you guys faced the Magic in the East Finals, LeBron averaged 39 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and he shot 49% from the field. Obviously, you guys came up a little short in that series, but did you think LeBron took it to another level there?
Well, I mean, I think we didn't do enough. That would have sounded like. But that series, and Dwight Howard played out his mind. If you go back and look at his stats, I don't know what it was, but he had some games where he had some 40-point games in there, some 38-point games in there. I mean, it was amazing how he was playing in that playoff. So you got to give them a lot of credit too. They played really well.
Yeah, there's no shame in losing that Magic team. They were really good, and they were well put together.
Coach, the team brought in Shaquille O'Neal for the 2009-2010 season. Do you have any good Shaq stories?
Oh man, Shaq is he's a funny guy. He's one of my favorite. He's always joking. He always has jokes. I mean, he's a fun guy to be around. He will come in the locker room and just be prepared. He's gonna jump on you. He's gonna wrestle with you. 500 pounds, 8 foot. You just be prepared to wrestle. Sometimes you're gonna have to get a little strong with him. And be like, hey man, I'm not playing today.
Sounds like you got to watch your back.
Oh yeah, you're catching.
I heard a story one time from when he was with the Lakers that he walked into practice one day only wearing his basketball shoes.
I don't know how true that is, but listen, I wouldn't put it past him.
So in 2010, there was a game where you dunked all over Paul Pierce on a fast break.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how Mike Brown reacted after the game when he was asked about it?
I do. I mean, it surprised me, to be honest. So, it's just something that I'm not known for, something I don't do. I don't really dunk. And that moment came, and it just happened. I was just going for a layup, and I just kept going up, and he kept trying to block it. I figured, well, I probably going to have to dunk this because he's going to block this. And it turned into something special, and it happened to be in the playoffs. It's got a lot of notoriety, and people think I can dunk now, and they don't know I only have 2 dunks in my career.
Well, it was a great dunk.
Coach, the Cavs almost traded for Amari Stoudemire in 2010, but ended up acquiring Antoine Jamison instead. Do you ever think what the team might have accomplished with Stoudemire?
Well, be honest with you, man, Antoine Jamison is pretty damn good. It wasn't his fault we didn't win it, but he did his job. He did what he normally does. No matter if he was in Washington, he was Cleveland. So I wouldn't say if we had such and such what would happen. If we had Amari, maybe the same thing would have happened. But Antoine Jameson is a hell of a basketball player.
Right.
Yeah, he is for sure. I definitely enjoyed watching him when he joined you guys, and he definitely added a lot. Did LeBron tell you where he was going before he announced the decision on TV?
No.
Okay.
Coach, you backed up Chris Paul for a year in L.A. What makes him such a great point guard, and did you learn anything from him that you added to your game?
No, I mean, everybody's everybody. Obviously, you be around great players. You know, you pick up their tactics, you know, things they do. But one thing I picked up on Chris, it wasn't even on the court thing. It's just how he handled his business off the court. That was most important to me, and that's what I took from him.
Well, on the court, in 2015, you set a Timberwolves franchise record for most points in a game when you had a career-high 52. What do you remember about that game, and do you remember who was guarding you?
Yeah, the whole team was guarding me, but it wasn't nothing they could do that night. Yeah, I remember that night. It was fun. We was in Indiana. It was cold, and I remember leaving the hotel before the game thinking to myself, like, man, it's cold outside. I don't really feel like playing today. And it kind of went that way. And I went to the arena. Usually I go warm up. Then we come back in and we meet. And then we'll go out and warm up again, kind of the normal NBA routine. I didn't go out and warm up. So my first time actually touching the basketball was 20 minutes before the game.
Wow.
And and you know how the outcome turned out, and that's a true story.
Wow.
So this number 52, I was kind of pondering this yesterday. It's an interesting number for you. So you, I believe you wore 25 growing up. Is that correct? Was that kind of your favorite number? And then you wore that with the Bucks, but then with the Cavs you wore 2 because 25 was retired. And then when you came back to the Cavs, you wore 52. Is that correct? When you came back?
50. Yep, 52.
So
I had 52 the year before, and that's 25 backwards. So that number 25 is there for a reason.
Yeah, it's 25 backwards, but also isn't 52 the number of years that it had been since Cleveland had won a championship in 2016?
It surely has.
Was that part of the thinking?
Yeah. No, it wasn't at all. It just happened to be that way when toward the end when we was going in the playoffs and things like that. So that was interesting.
So you rejoined the Cavs for the 2016 season, and you played in 6 of the finals games. When the team was down 3-1 to the Warriors, did you believe you could win?
Yeah, we believe we can win. I mean, ironic as that may sound, we never thought for a second. Now, listen, I've been in a lot of playoffs, and we'd be down. I remember my first playoffs with Milwaukee, my third year in the NBA, and we down 3-1 to Detroit. Trust me, we knew we couldn't win another game. We was already planning our vacation before the game 5. So, but the situation with Cleveland wasn't like that. We never thought for a second that we couldn't win a game. And we're talking about a Golden State team that year that didn't lose two games in a row all season. And we're talking about having a conversation talking about them losing 3 in a row. Like, that was impossible. But we didn't think like that. We felt like we took it one game at a time. We said, hey, man, we just got to go in here and steal game 5, which we did. But then we got to go home. They're not celebrating on our court. That was our motivation, which we didn't. Then we said, hey, man, anything can happen game 7, which it did. And that's how it happened. That was the approach we took. And, looking at the hindsight, it worked out the way we spoke it.
It's a great accomplishment. And I got a personal story for you. I was in Germany at the time when the finals were going on. I was on vacation, and I woke up at 3:00 in the morning to watch Game 7, and it was completely worth it. And there's obviously that moment when, Andre Iguodala is going up for that layup and LeBron closes from light years away. He just zooms in there and blocks it. And I was losing my shit, but I had to be quiet because everyone else in the house was asleep.
Oh, that's funny. I mean, it was an amazing game. Like I said, man, it's you talk about somebody heart pounding the whole game. It's just one of those. You just don't know. It's a nail biter. You never know what might happen. Oh man, it was amazing.
Incredible. What was the game plan against the Warriors, and how did it change as the series went along?
It really didn't change. As you play in that part, you have a game plan, and it's just kind of who does it better. You adjust. You don't change the game plan. You adjust. But it was just to be physical with Steph, be physical with Clay, understand what Draymond brings to the game. And that was our main goal. And you go back and watch that series closely, you'll see a lot of times where if Steph involved with anything, we made sure we hit him. Made sure he just was hit all night long. And if you kind of watch some games, I mean, he's one of the greatest shooters, and sometimes he missed pretty, unlike Steph Curry misses. And and we would want to think that was from a little fatigue.
Coach, what's your memory of the block?
Well, the memory is just when he when he had the block and he didn't get up for a second. That was my memory. Like, hey, hold up, get up. When he made the block, he kind of laid down on the ground for a little bit, like he's kind of injured. But come to find out, he was just trying to catch his breath, which was good. And but the block was, it's going down as one of the greatest blocks. I mean, it was in the finals, deciding moment. You couldn't ask for a better opportunity to be special.
So we're gonna turn the gear here to some Thunder talk. But so sometimes we Thunder fans hear that our arena is one of the loudest environments in the league. Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely. I mean, you got a lot of arenas that has that appeal to it, but definitely, it's a crowd that's loud. They're rowdy. It kind of almost feel like a college atmosphere in a way. So I would say, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thanks for throwing us a bone.
Yeah.
Well, that's the last stop on the bus today. Coach Mo, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
You can follow Coach on Twitter at Mo Williams. You can follow us on Twitter at Thunder_Bus_pod. And we are on all the major podcast apps. Until next time, thanks for riding the bus this week, and Thunder up.